Welcome to Truck and Talk, your pit stop for fresh takes, smart strategies, and the people keeping freight in motion. Today, we're flipping the script. In transportation, there are really just two roles, truck drivers and the people who support them. And this episode is all about the journey from one to the other. We're joined by Edgar Moran, someone who ran the miles, hauled the loads, and lived life on the road until one day he made the leap from driver to leader. What made him realize there was more out there? How did he spot the opportunity? And what did he discover about himself along the way? This is a story of growth, of change, and of what's possible when you say yes to something bigger. Edgar, welcome to Truck and Talk.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, before we dive into your story, Edgar, we want to kick things off with Fuel for Thought, which is a quick look at what's moving the industry right now. And one big topic we're watching is the growing conversation around driver retention and engagement, especially post-pandemic. A lot of companies are realizing that keeping drivers isn't about pay, it's about purpose. So have you seen that shift too?
Of course. After the pandemic, a lot of companies flourished, came up because, transportation never stopped during COVID. It was, it was chaos. And everyone was buying online, and everything was closing up. All the restaurants were closing up, and a lot of people started purchasing more. So the flow of freight picked up big time. So now that we have drivers, applying to Missy and all that, it's very important to make sure that they're comfortable, that they feel, you speak to them with respect, and make sure that they stay around. You do not be treated, as part of the family. So retention is a must. We actually have a protocol at work. Once we hire one of our drivers, we follow up with them within a week of being hired, within 30 days of being hired, and within 60 days of being hired. So we want to make sure that if anything's going on or something we can tweak to make their staying a little bit more comfortable and lucrative for them.
Right. And you actually touched on it in that last word, lucrative. So how much do you think career growth opportunities play into whether someone stays or goes?
Oh, of course, it depends a lot on their experience. The more experience they have, the higher the pay will be. But of course, other opportunities arise sometimes. They'll have a certain division that they're running, and they see that their performance is superb, and they're on time. They're always following the route. Everything. So opportunities like maybe like a run that it's a dedicated run that operations will spot them and this will be a perfect driver for this specific lane, which that's what a driver loves, a dedicated run, because you get used to exactly from point A to point B where you're gonna be delivering. You know exactly the run that you're going to be doing, the stops you're going to be doing to administrate your hours of service, and you know every little like the restaurants that you like to stop in, and it makes the feel the driver safe and comfortable, knowing that he's going to be leaving this specific day, he's going to be staying at this specific town. And then the next day, when he can have some more hours of service, keep on running until he makes this delivery, and then comes back and back and forth to the exact same place. And he feels welcome at the customers. They know him already. And after a few deliveries, they become very familiar with them.
Yeah. Do you think that companies that create true internal pathways like MBT are in a stronger position to retain that top talent long term?
Of course. We have quite a few variety of customers, and, a lot of a company that has been in business for 43 years and has built this great resume, not only with MVT, we do have other branches of that Mr. Jones has grown to and opened up to. And, of course, we every year, like George Chaston was saying, we keep on winning the awards of excellence, and I mean, our work shows what we're really doing, and it's one hell of a company.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit more about you and your story. So how did your journey at MVT begin?
Well, I started as a driver. What happened is that I graduated high school, went to college, got a bachelor's. I said, what do I do now? So I started applying all these places, and that wasn't really given. It was saturated with the career the degree that I've gone. So I said maybe I should look into truck driving. Maybe I can do that, and along the way, learn more about the industry. So I went to the school. Back then it was MBTI, and I got my CDL through them, and applied at Mesilla. I started going with a mentor. Back then, it used to be with somebody for at least 2 years. Now it's 6 months. I mean, the mentoring program has grown so much, and it's gotten a little shorter because now 6 months you would be able to go by yourself. Back then, you used to be with somebody for at least 2 years.
Oh, wow.
And that takes a lot of patience, and it's not easy driving in teams, because it's like a marriage. It's you got to have chemistry. You got to have get along with each other, and sometimes like people clash, and
yeah.
But I started driving. I did it for about 3 years, and after 3 years, I said maybe I should look into other aspects of the business. So I started checking out operations. I applied for dispatch, for fleet manager. I got my opportunity. I got my interview, and what was his name? This gentleman, I remember right now. He gave me the opportunity, and I started at ECT, which is the evening dispatch. I did it for 6 months, and then they transferred me to the daytime, and I did that for about a year and a half, 2 years, and then I used to get along with the drivers very well because I had been there before. So I was able to, prioritize their needs, and some of them sometimes they would call me like, Edgar, I'm at this customer's. I don't know how to. I can't find the entrance. I'm like, oh yeah, I would remember it. I would just kind of guide them through there, and I kind of became popular with them, and then I started looking into recruiting, and recruiting gave me the opportunity to, start bringing in some drivers. I've been in recruiting already for like 10, 11 years.
Wow. Well, let me stop you there, because you're whizzing through your career here. I mean, you're opening up opportunities for other questions. And so I am curious about when you said you were driving for 3 years, at what point did you decide maybe you wanted to transition out of driving and do something else?
Well, a big the biggest decision for that was I got married. During that time, I had kids. I have kids. I have 2 of them, and I started thinking about me. I'm going to be on the road a lot. I'm going to be missing a few of their, of their graduations, birthdays, things like that. So I'm like, I'm capable of many things. So I started, looking into, the dispatching part, and it was mainly to be around my kiddos, and it worked out.
Yeah.
It's been good.
So at what point did you feel, I guess let me back up and ask you, so when you decided you needed to make that change, did you feel comfortable enough telling somebody within the business, I love driving, but I need to find something that still works for my family?
Yeah, it's all about growth, internally. So, because time flies, next thing you know, 5 years pass, and you're, the kids will be like a little too old for me to get back what I missed. So, I used a lot also my degree, my computer knowledge of, because we do use what's called the AS400 at work, and that's how we control all of our trucks and customer service numbers, and it's logistics.
Yeah.
So I prepared well for that interview, and it went well. It's all about knowing your company, the process. It did help a lot that I had been a driver, so it kind of clicked when I would be in the interview and they would ask me certain things of how will you handle this, how will you handle that, and then I was like, oh, okay, so when I used to do this is how I used to do that, and everything kind of like came together, and it worked out for me, and after 15 years, I'm still here.
Yeah. So how long were you doing dispatch before you decided to transition into the other aspect of bringing people into MVT?
I did it for about 2 years, I want to say.
Okay.
2 years and a half. And it's hard. I mean, operations it's stressful, because and we used to have less trucks back then, so it's about, you were given a fleet of about 40 or 50 trucks, and 50 different drivers. Some of them are teams, 50 personalities. You have to be a little bit of also like a psychologist when you're a fleet manager. I mean, my respect to operations. I've been there, and I mean, there's people that are still there, and I mean, they did a great job, and it's not as easy as people think it is. It's I mean, everything. As long as you put the time and effort to know it, because a lot of people say, "Oh, driving, how hard can it be to drive a semi?" It's a lot of responsibility. It's a lot of, being careful, traffic with your load, with your other drivers. Fleet managing the same way. You have to learn how to talk to your coworkers, to your drivers. Always speak to them with respect, with help them whenever they need you, because you're that link between the operations and the load, the driver, and you gotta make them feel protected, and make them feel that I'm on your side, I'm your backup, I'm your help.
Yeah, it sounds like you learned a little bit about how to be a psychologist while you were transitioning.
You do?
I guess, what else did you learn about yourself while you were going from truck driving into those other roles?
I learned that I've become a good listener. Sometimes drivers will be very frustrated because of weather, because of somebody just cut them off, because the load's not ready yet. And sometimes they will call me like, Edgar, I want to talk to you. I have this, and just let them speak. They will talk to you and talk to you. I wouldn't say a single word, just let them vent. They would talk for like 5, 8, 10 minutes, and then they will stop like, okay, so, and sometimes they will be like, you know what, honestly, Edgar, I forgot the reason why I called in, but I feel so much better. Thank you for lending me your ear. We're okay, man. Just let's keep on trucking.
Wow.
And it worked quite a few times, actually.
So were there any unexpected challenges when they actually did have a question, or just any challenges?
No, yeah. I mean, having your coworkers there, operations, it's a big team, so you always have somebody next to you, and regardless if it's another fleet manager, a supervisor, one of the, upper management. There's always somebody there to help. If there is something I didn't know how to do it, I wanted to be, you know what? Hold on, give me 1 minute, or let me call you back, and I'll, research this and just learning, who's customer service, who's a planner, who's fleet manager. So depending on the problem, I had to learn who to go directly to, like specifically. That way, they will be able to give me the answer and not only learn from it, but help the driver and then proceed with the load.
So, was there someone or something that helped you realize your potential for leadership?
I think it learn along the way. Some people are born leaders. Some people are made leaders, and because of their experiences, because of certain bumps on the road, and you just have to learn how to exceed that issue or that hurdle, and it's about knowledge. It's about becoming wiser on your trade, and sometimes you don't even realize that you're the leader until you're already there. You're like, oh, well, I guess I learned a thing or two about this industry.
What kind of support did you receive from the company when you were transitioning?
No, well, everyone's such big help. It's a family environment, and if it's you work with a lot of people and different personalities, different they advise you different things, and everyone from like the the regular like the team leaders, Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones is very approachable. He's not somebody that you think second thoughts on, like having a question for him. You do see him at the terminal once in a while, and upper management. There's I've only spoken to George a few times, but the few times that I've spoken to him, it's very easy to speak to everyone and ask for help, and it's just the support that everyone gives you. It's you don't feel intimidated to ask a certain question or ask for help in order for you to be a better person and a better worker.
So are there any programs or mentors or systems that are in place to help drivers grow into those new roles?
Oh, yeah. There's different, if for example, if you want to get your CDL, we do have a sponsorship program. That's actually what I'm in charge of. You want to get your CDL, we pre-qualify you. We'll have you, go through the school. Once you finish school, we pretty much, you'll have a job once you finish school. And then we mentor you throughout the whole thing, because for the 6 months that I was saying. And that's something that, not every company does. And very few companies actually have the mentorship program. And it's, drivers will, sometimes they'll be like, hey, you know what, I'm looking into driving and I don't know anything about it. So I try to feel them at ease, because a lot of the times they're like, yeah, man, like I keep on asking, but they just giving me the runaround, and they just tell me, you know what, this just cutthroat. That's it. You want it or take it. No, take it or leave it. And I tell them, you know what, this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna be on the road. You're gonna be doing this. You're gonna be making this much. You're gonna be going to these places. You have to talk to your family. Because it is a big decision to make. Mm-hmm. And because make sure that you're gonna tell them you're gonna be out of town a lot. And that's one of the programs that we have, like mentorship. We do have, of course, various variety of divisions that can jump in once they have experience. You can become a mentor with us as well. The mentorship, which is ran by Letty Haka. She's this lady. She's been with us, I think, for 20 years. As just like this short, but don't let that intimidate. No, she knows her stuff. She's well respected. All the mentors, treat her well with respect. She's fair, and she's on it. That lady, my hat's off to her. That lady keeps that program running, and drivers love her. And sometimes truck drivers can be a little rough around the edges, and she's great. Just like your purpose.
So what makes MVT different when it comes to promoting from within?
No, well, there's a lot of place for growth, career-wise, and you do not only in MVT. I mean, you do have dispatch, you do have the safety department, you do have a shop, you do have risk. Accounts payable, accounts receivable. There's so many aspects, and not only MVT. I mean, there's the other. I mean, there's Border International. There's Border Tire. I mean, there's so many other businesses that you can transfer to. I mean, as long as, of course, you prove yourself and you have the credentials and the knowledge to do so. And I mean, the sky's the limit in here. It's you just. As long as you're dedicated to your job, responsible, and and always have a helping hand to make others grow and yourself.
Yeah. So you've seen both sides. You were a driver. Now you're on the other side. So what advice would you give to people who are thinking of a new role?
Just think about it. View your options. See, what are the cons and pros of taking that new responsibility. Just because it's there doesn't mean that you're a good fit for it. You do need to make sure that you're choosing the right type of position that you're going for, and it's just inform yourself, and make sure that it's going to work out for you and your family, whatever path you're going to be taking.
Mm-hmm. So that leads into my next question, which is, what qualities do you think make a good leader in MVT?
Oh no, well, so many, and patience, knowledge of your material, dedication. Man, the list keeps on going. I mean, at the end of the day, pretty much you need to make sure that the job got done, and that you were there to fix the problem or to provide the service that we were hired to, and to make sure that that everyone's pleased or happy, that the problem got solved.
Mm-hmm. So how important is the mindset of, or having a growth mindset when it comes to transitioning to leadership?
Oh yeah, you have to. You always have to think of, okay. You got to have that set mind of, okay, so I'm going to do this. It's unknown grounds to you because you don't know what's going to happen, but you won't know until you try. So you have to take the gamble, and and not everything's perfect. There's going to be days that you're going to be like, oh man, why would I do this? Why did I say that? But I mean, it's a learning experience. So as long as you learn from your mistakes, and of course you apply that knowledge to your decisions, it should make you a better leader and a better worker, and a better person.
And how would you describe MVT's culture when it comes to growth and also internal mobility?
Oh no, it's very accessible. Like I said, there's so many positions in Mesilla that one can move to. They give you the opportunity, and that's something that a lot of companies won't do. Like, oh, you're a driver, and that's it. You're a driver. No. or your safety clerk or your dispatcher. If you're interested and you really looking into like growing as a person in your career, why not? You just have to, grab the bull by the horns and sometimes go with it.
So are success stories like yours common in MVT?
Yeah, they should be. I hope so. Yeah, it's like I said, it's a gamble. Sometimes things don't work out. And we learn from our mistakes, like I was saying, right? But it's so much variety in of people, of cultures, and in Mesilla, and I have met quite a few people that move from specific positions and to be in a higher position and more satisfying career option, and but it helps them in their future.
What do you think makes people stick around? Is it the job? Is it the mission? Is it something else?
It's the satisfaction and the how you get treated. It's about giving you the credit that that, because it's worthless if you do something and you don't get told, you know what, you did a good job. You did this, you did that. We noticed you did this, even though you didn't say anything. But we noticed you've been doing this. It's like it's made like the specific position, better, and it's just that pat in the back.
People want to feel seen, right?
Yes. And it's something that everyone wants. It's even if you're an introvert and you don't want to be seen. It's just giving. They're giving you the credit of, you know what, good job, keep on doing it. It's keep at it.
Yeah. Going back to what you said earlier, sometimes people just want to be heard too. So that's good. Good advice.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
It's been good. It's been great. I'm very happy. It feels surreal still that I used to be a driver. It was 15 years ago, but I still remember. Like sometimes I'll be imagining, like, man, I remember I was going through those storms and or the winter season, and you're driving like when there's really heavy snow and you see like other semis like laying on their side and you're driving through them, and you're like, whew. And then you look back and like, not bad. I did it.
It's a good place to end. Edgar, thank you so much.
No, thank you.
And that is a wrap from Truck and Talk, your pit stop for fresh takes, smart strategies, and the people keeping freight in motion. To learn more about career advancement opportunities or how MVT supports its team from day one, visit MVT.com. And be sure to follow and subscribe so you never miss an episode. I'm Stephanie Valle. Stay safe, stay sharp, and keep on trucking. We'll see you next time on Truck and Talk.